Hello, my name is Virginia Krebs, and I'm here to talk a little bit about my faith journey at First Christian Church in Salem. I've been here quite a while, so there's quite a lot to tell you. The other day I was out sweeping my front porch, and it was a beautiful, clear, lovely, fresh day, and the leaves were blowing, and it was so lovely and airy that I opened the front door as wide as I could just to let the fresh air in. And about that time, I heard the voice of my father. Now, you probably all have heard a similar statement from your own dad. "What are you doing?" he said. "Close the door. Are you trying to warm up the whole outside?" And I had to laugh because I thought to myself, yeah, Dad, that's exactly what we're doing. That's what we're doing at First Christian Church in Salem. We're opening the doors and we're trying to warm up the entire outside. Well, my personal definition of church is outreach and stewardship and serving and giving. And it's pretty simple. 4 little words all tucked together create a wonderful faith and a wonderful spiritual adventure. My mom and dad were children of the Depression, and they were really, really very poor. Mother's wardrobe, she told me this story when she was a senior going to high school, her senior year. She went through the entire year with 2 blouses and 1 skirt. And she would wash one blouse, she'd wear the other blouse to school, come home and reverse the process so that each day she had something clean to wear to school. My dad was so poor that as a young man, he often bathed in the river just to keep himself clean enough to go to school. And poverty was a terrible, crushing thing for them during the end of that depression. They never quite got over it. Dad was humiliated by that amount of poverty all of his life. Mother didn't notice. That's the kind of person she was. Both of them were doers and givers. Mom was a giver. Dad was the doer. He's what I like to think of as the Dave DeZodel and the Jim Kincaid of his own congregation. But even though they were children of poverty, they had enough sense about them and enough gratitude to know that it was important that they give back according to their means. So I grew up in a church. I grew up with a church family. I grew up with church experiences, and I grew up a tither. 1 cent from a 10-cent allowance every Sunday, 25 cents from a babysitting job, and later 10% of a once a month, not very much teacher's salary. And you know what? If I fudged, I noticed and God noticed, because inevitably we would run out of food and resources before the end of the month. I remember one particularly memorable meal where I served my family cream of spinach soup and cornbread. It was just one day before payday. Bob and I joined First Christian Church in Salem about 30 years ago when Bob got a job as director of passenger rail for the Oregon Department of Transportation. And he got what every boy's dream job is. He got to play with trains for 12 years, big trains. First Christian Church became our home and our faith fortress. And this is where we learned to grow, where we gave service, where we forged friendships. 30 years of outreach, stewardship, giving, doing, tithing, and with tithing, of course, comes gratitude. My mantra is this: give as you can, according to your means. Do what you can, when you can, according to the needs around you. Wasn't too many years before she died that I asked my mother, Mom, did you ever think when you were that young woman going to school with 2 blouses and 1 skirt that one day you would have traveled around the world 3 times and you would own 3 houses? And she looked at me a little perplexed and she said, well, I never doubted it. And I think that is the essence of gratitude, the essence of faith, the essence of stewardship, and inevitably the essence of outreach. It's all about giving and doing. And these are powerful concepts. It's an expression of gratitude for God, and it also opens the doorway to God's bounty.